Hi, this is Michelle with Michelle's Macarons, and today I'm going to talk about how you can start a home bakery business as a teen. If you haven't already, go watch these videos. They will be helpful for you, and then come back, watch this. This will just be more specific to what you're doing as a teenager. So you need money to buy supplies. So let's say maybe you want to start by making cupcakes. That will be a little cheaper than if you started with macarons. So you want to make cupcakes as a teen in your home. You'll need the ingredients. You'll need a mixer. Maybe you could even make them without a mixer at first, which is what I would recommend, but you're going to need baking sheets. You might already have those, you might not. You could get started very cheap for this, but if you are doing something like macarons, you're going to need the money for almond flour, maybe a mixer. You could start with a handheld and something to package your baked goods in. There are a lot of YouTube videos and resources out there that will show you how to make money as a teen, like small things you can do to just get it kind of rolling, and then you have enough for the supplies. Then as you sell more, you'll make more, and you can spend that money and put it back into your business. But what I would recommend is just good old-fashioned yard work, if you can get someone to pay you to do yard work, if you're allowed to do that. And when I say allowed, I mean parents. If your parents will let you. So I know that everyone has a different situation. Some people might be able to do the yard work for their parents, and their parents will give them some sort of money. Maybe you could go to your neighbor's house. Maybe you have some relatives you could do yard work. I will still list some other things that maybe if you're not allowed to do this kind of stuff, you'll be able to do these things. So you could do yard work. You could organize. That's something I always need done. Someone to just come in, organize my stuff, maybe once a month, and then that's it. So that could be something you do, organize for people. Babysitting, dog sitting, dog walking. You could wash cars. You could go to people's houses, wash their car for them so they don't have to take their car anywhere. You could wash windows. Just think of things, or you could even talk to your parents and ask them what are things that you don't want to do. Some parents will say, you do them anyway, you live here for free, you have to do them without money, but maybe those are just some ideas of what you can offer for other people, like your neighbors, your grandparents, your friends' parents. If you're enjoying this video and you want to see more like it, hit subscribe and the bell next to it to be notified whenever I come out with new videos. This is another thing that you could do for money. And once again, there are a ton of YouTube videos on. Gary Vaynerchuk has some great advice on what to do if you're a teenager starting a business and how to make money. He recommends going on Craigslist, which I would make sure that I have an adult's permission or an adult helping me with that, because Craigslist can get kind of sketchy. Facebook Marketplace, there's often like free sections, like free, you just have to come pick it up. So if you are able to go pick it up, if you have your license, or if you have someone that can help you, and then you can resell it, maybe fix it up a little bit, clean it up. If it's just something that needs a little bit of repair, not something crazy, just maybe clean it up and then resell it on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace. You could go to garage sales. That's all stuff. You have to have a car though, or someone that can drive you. So if you can't do that, I would recommend if you're in walking distance of other people doing the yard work, babysitting, removing snow if you live in a cold area. But one of the big things that you could do if you're a teen is you can make reels, TikTok, stuff like that for small businesses. So a lot of these things that come easy to you, and you're on TikTok all the time, you're on Instagram, and you just know what's hip, that is a skill. Knowing what's hip is a skill that a lot of us don't have. And a lot of small business owners don't want to even deal with that stuff. So if you are younger, if you have access to a cell phone or some sort of camera, you might not even have to have access to a cell phone. Wherever you're going, you could just use their equipment and do it for them and then leave. So like a lot of restaurants, they don't want to have to deal with TikTok reels, all that stuff, and posting on their Instagram. You could go in, charge them to take pictures of their food, take pictures of their products, do a short reel once a week if you can get a ride there. And that could be very helpful for the shop and for you. That could even be a small little business you do on the side if you don't want to do the baking thing. You could make reels, TikToks, and kind of do like a social media management for small businesses that don't want to deal with it themselves. Like if I had someone that could just come in and make reels for me every week, that would be amazing. I don't want to make reels, and a lot of younger people are a lot better at it than I am. So things that come really easy to you that you think you have to over-explain to your parents, use that as a skill and something that you could maybe charge for, not to your parents, but to small businesses and stuff like that. Once you get a little startup money, then you can start selling and making your product, and then you can just keep using that money to buy more, and eventually you'll have enough to keep your business growing. So if I were to start as a teen right now, or if I had a teen here that I was like, this is what you need to do first, I would focus on one thing. I would do one product. So I still just do macarons. If I were you, I would do like maybe just cupcakes or just cake in a jar. So you just have to work on one product. You only have to buy the equipment for one product, the supplies, the packaging material for one product, and just focus on that. Get as many people to try your product as you can. That might be a little hard at first if you're low on cash, but if you can get people to taste it, make sure you have a really good product. It can be something simple like cake in a jar. Like that can be made easily, really good, and for a low price. Just make sure it tastes good. To have your family, have your friends try it, anyone that will be honest with you, have them try it, and just make sure it's a really good product. Now, another thing I would do if I were a teen right now starting a business is I would share what you're making money for. Do you want to save up for a car? Are you saving up for college? That kind of stuff really makes it so like adults and older people want to help you. They will want to put money towards your thing. You've got your cookie booth up and you got that you're saving money for college. A lot of people are going to buy even if they don't want a cookie because they want to help you save for college. That's a cool thing to see. A kid working hard to make their dreams come true. You know, it's cool to see, and a lot of like us older people want to support that. Maybe put that in your bio. If you're allowed to have Instagram, Facebook, that kind of stuff, if you have access to a phone, you could go to the library. There's computers there. If you can set up a social media account through that and at least go there once a week and put a picture out or something, I would set up your bio. If I were a teen doing this, I would probably put that in my bio because that kind of makes you stand out, and it's really cool to see younger people like starting their own businesses. So I would probably put that. I don't know if my parents at the time would have let me have an Instagram account, so I don't know how that would have worked, especially if I was like telling the world that I was 16 or if I was 15 or whatever and I had that in my bio. I feel like that can get maybe a little scary. So I would talk to your parents first, if you or whoever is your guardian, and ask them if they think that's a good idea. But it is cool whenever I see baking accounts that they're young. It's cool. You want to follow them. You want to support them. You want to help them achieve their goals. I would talk to your parents or guardian and just see what their opinion is on that. I think it's cool when you can see that this person's young and that they're doing something big and like really working hard. And I would follow them for that reason, just because I want them to grow their business and to see that. So talk to your guardians, your parents about that. See if, because maybe you put in there 16-year-old and something about saving or started a business to save up for college. Just a little bit of your story in there, and it does make it seem really cool and just shows people that that's something unique you're doing. It kind of sets you apart from all the other home bakers. Or if you have like a nonprofit that you're donating to, or you're doing this for a reason, people love to see that, and it's really cool to show what is driving you with this business, in this business. A lot of this stuff depends on your area and the people that are running the shops in your area, but you could try to do pop-ups. If I were young, that's what I would do. I would try to, I don't know how serious the farmers markets in your area are, but you could try to get into a farmer's market. You could try to do, so a lot of the farmer's markets here, you can either do the whole summer or you can do one or two. If I were you, I would do maybe one or two, because I mean, you still have to, if you're still in school probably, and you have a lot of work to do with school, so that could be overwhelming. So maybe you just do a farmer's market once a month, and that would also kind of be easier to talk the farmers market committee into letting you do. Just try it out once a month or a couple times. So same with pop-ups. You might have a problem with some like stricter stores, but if you go in there and talk to them, but say why you're doing this, show them your social media, just kind of show them that you're serious and that you can be dependable. If you can, maybe have a guardian or a parent come in with you. That kind of just depends on your situation. And let them know what you're doing and ask if you can set up for a couple hours. Once again, a lot of adults love to see younger people doing this stuff, especially a shop owner. They're going to think that's cool that they're doing this so young. So remember that while you're doing this. Yes, you're young and everyone knows that, and it does kind of have its disadvantages, but it also has its advantages because it is something cool that you're doing that makes you stand out. I would really document it too. Like, you got your social media, your TikTok, all that stuff you're good at. I would even, if you really want to take this to the next level, I would start a YouTube channel. And I would really document it because that's cool. If you're a teen starting a business, that's something interesting that a lot of other teens might want to do and see your process along the way. So you could, right when you start, it might be a crappy video, who cares? Just video you starting up, what you had to go through. You don't have to release it now. You could release it along the way, or you could wait until this grows into something successful, then start showing this is what it was like when I started, this is what I did to get here, and just kind of document it along the way, because this is something that is pretty unique and will just kind of inspire other people to do the same. So I do have a program called the Home Bakery Blueprint where you'll learn all of this stuff. There are some younger people in it, but I do kind of recommend making sure you have an adult that can kind of help you out. It does take some time, so if you have to focus on school, focus on that first. Join the email list below, and I will send you an email as soon as spots open up for that. If you're having trouble making macarons, join the Michelle's Macarons Facebook group, and I will put a link for that in the description. If you'd like, you can follow me on Facebook and Instagram, and I will post those links in the description below. Okay, check out these other macaron videos. Okay, love you, bye.